This is nice small talk. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Today is so hot. We're having a heat wave right now up here in New England. Jeez. Anyways, if you're new here, hi, I'm Sephora. I'm a beginner entrepreneur. And today we are going to be talking about what it's like to be at school during the pandemic. I'm going to kind of give my story from the beginning and with the quarantine and everything. And then I'll kind of explain kind of how it is now and what it's like and all the feels. You'll get all the deets. Yeah. Let's just get right into it. All right. So it all starts last year when school finally closed down for 2 weeks. I was watching the news with my family in the living room when I got an email from my school saying our school was canceled for 2 weeks. And I was so excited, of course, because school was canceled for 2 weeks. And I remember it was really, really nice for me because at the time, I really needed a break to just relax and start over because I was breaking down. I was burning out. I was so stressed with school and grades, when I actually cared. So it was a really nice opportunity to relax. Who knew it was gonna turn into a full year of never entering the school grounds? After the 2 weeks and then not opening up after the 2 weeks, my school finally went online. My school didn't go to Zoom at first, but we had a bunch of assignments due in this thing called Schoology. And it was very nice because I love working on my own. And the assignments were really short. So I had a lot more free time to do what I wanted to do. I was having a blast, but after a while, I started to go crazy because I'd never left the house for any reason, because, COVID. And I was getting really lonely because I wasn't talking to anybody besides my family. The only kind of contact I would do is sending my friends memes because that's just our relationship. We would only really talk in school. It's still like that. So, it's lack of socializing is kind of bad for your mental health. The first couple of classes with Zoom was very interesting because a lot of the teachers were not tech smart, still aren't tech smart. So half of the class was just the teachers trying to figure everything out, like how to share a screen, how to turn the mic on, how to get the other kids to turn their screens on. It was insane. And every student never wants to turn their cameras or mics on. I never wanted to turn my camera or mic on just because I'm shy. And it's so awkward. You're just sitting there staring at a camera and everyone sees you, so you're trying to act natural, but I imagine this made it really hard for the teachers because there wasn't much interaction and this is so different, and oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine how the teachers felt. So that was kind of last year's school thing, and then summer happened, so now we're at the fall of 2020. School was starting and there was this whole new routine. I know a lot of schools just decided to go full online, everyone's online, no one's in school really, or full in person. There weren't very many though. My school, because my school loves to be different, we decided to do this rotation of half of the kids are in person and half are on Zoom, and then they switch. The half that were on Zoom last week are now in person, and the people in person last week are now on Zoom, and we did a switch off. I was Group A, so I got to go to school for the first week, and it was the most depressing sight ever. Going for the first day during the pandemic, everyone looked so depressed, so numb. It was just, you couldn't really see people smiling because everyone was wearing masks. And so it was just, wow, it was horrible. That kind of messed me up a little bit. Everyone just looked messed up, whether they just were numb, they didn't have any more emotion because of this, or they were just full out depressed, which is typically normal for today's teens and young adults, but it was really bad. It was worse than usual. And because there was only half the students, it felt so empty and abandoned, and there was no love, no happiness, no positive anything. Everything was just okay, we just gotta get through it. We're all dying inside, but we're just gonna get through it. Every single person was having a hard time. The school wasn't alive like it was before. Like, people used to walk in the halls and talk, and there would be a lot of talking in classes, a lot of excitement. Like, the teachers would have to, like, yell at the students to get them to stop talking. But at the beginning of the year, no one talked at all. The teachers had to, like, force students to participate and raise their hand, and, like, there was no walking in the halls. There was no, like, communicating or socializing or friend time. Like, people talked to their friends, but it wasn't the same. Everything was just so serious. It was bad. All the desks were separated too, so there were less desks because there were less students, and they were all separated. So everyone's, like, 6 feet apart, and it was just so uncomfortable. And the teachers have this, like, plastic thing at their desk. And we also have to spray our desks and wipe them down with these brown paper towels, like, before we enter and leave the classroom. Well, when we enter and when we leave the classroom. So pretty much when you leave the classroom, you wipe down your desk, and then the person coming wipes down the desk again just to make sure. It's just, it was very secure. We still do that now because COVID is still happening, but yeah. So all the trash cans in every classroom is just filled with these brown paper towels. The bright side about this is that class ended 5 minutes early in order for us to wipe down our desks. Another thing is, teachers were very, very slack and understanding. They were having as, like, difficult of a time as the students are having, you know? So they didn't really want to do much either. I took 2 AP classes this year. It was probably the best time to take them ever because they were so chill about all of the work. Because of COVID, I took an AP language and composition class, which is an English class, and for the AP test, you have to write, like, 3 essays. Usually you have to hand write them. You have to do, like, the 3 essays in, like, 2 hours or something. But because of COVID, it was on the computer. Which is really awesome. Also, in both of the AP classes that I took, there was so much less work than there was for the past students who did it before COVID. So it was really cool and really lucky. So that was a bonus. That was a bonus. The lunchroom was also absolutely insane because for COVID purposes, they decided to put the juniors and seniors in the gym and the freshmen and sophomores get to eat in the actual cafeteria. Luckily, my school has 2 gyms. So there's this whole gym that is now a lunchroom. It's just weird because there's just a bunch of folding tables and folding chairs, and we use it as a study hall room now, and it's so weird. I went to the lunchroom for the first day of school, and it was so quiet still. No one could really sit with their friends because it was like 2 per table. No one could sit next to each other. Each table had one of those plastic walls to separate them because we have to take our masks off to eat. And it seriously felt like jail. It really did. I'm being completely honest. Ever since the first day, I just stopped going to the lunchroom because of how depressing it was. And I just started going to the radio station to eat. I know it's definitely gotten better though. People are getting used to this and everything. Zoom. This year, whenever I was on Zoom for the week, I never learned anything. I just participated in order to get credit for the day, and then I went to watch Netflix or TikTok during the class, and it was honestly a lot of fun. Or I personally was working on something to do with business, but I never paid attention. For the 3 quarters of the school year, I kid you not, the only thing that I learned was how to find the homework answers online. Since the first day, it's definitely gotten better. People are way, way more relaxed about everything, especially since there are vaccines now. The students are talking again, and the teachers also seem really happy, especially since summer's coming up and it's warmer, so everyone's just bright and giggly. With my personal school, we are all back actually in person. The only people that are on Zoom are the students whose parents are really, really paranoid and want them home, like, for the full year. And events are starting to finally take place. I'm having my prom and I'm gonna make a video about it, so stay tuned. Yeah, we've all really adapted to this since we've gone through this school year for like almost the full 9 months now. I'm sure it's the same for you. Like, it was really hard. It was really hard for everyone. Oh my goodness. It still is pretty hard, but it's getting so much better. Like, the vaccines are coming, the masks are going away, so, you know, it's chill. It's really weird, though, because this pandemic has really changed me. Like, I used to show my love through physical touch. I used to hug my friends all the time. And because of the pandemic, I always have to keep my distance. I can't touch them at all. And so that's changed my love language. I'm not much of a physical person anymore. In fact, like, because I've been deprived from it for a full year, I literally don't want anyone to touch me anymore. And it's not even because I'm COVID paranoid. It's just not my love language anymore. It's so weird that it like kind of switched for me. But physical touch just freaks me out now. I'm just like, keep my space, bubble. You know? It's just really crazy how much the pandemic has changed all of us. But yeah. That's the life of school during a pandemic. I really hope this is used for historical purposes. I hope this video shows up in classrooms 50 years from now. This is what happened during 2020 in the pandemic, you know? Like, I want to be that person. That video that's shown in history classes. So that's my goal here. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, or if you didn't like it, please be sure to hit the thumbs down button. I really would love to know so that I can make my videos better for you guys. And I will see y'all next time. Check it out.